Today, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, this is Madden NFL 21 on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, much of the country is struggling under cold temps and some of that white stuff. No such troubles here at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And able to get this out to the 25. The Chiefs offense coming out here and bringing them onto the field, the most valuable player of last year's Super Bowl, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
They often say you can't force situations, you just have to let them happen organically, and that's exactly what happened in Kansas City as Patrick Mahomes took over as the quarterback and has become the face of the franchise in the NFL as we now move into the 101st season. Fourth year in the league, already has an MVP, a Super Bowl title, and a Super Bowl MVP on his resume. 3 huge games in the postseason last year, 10 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions, and 2 more on the ground. He just keeps getting better and better, and every time you watch him play, you want to see more.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell, and this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run for the first time with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
3rd and inches.
What a waste of time.
A first carry now. This is Williams. And he will have a Chiefs first down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 47.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it.
And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. You were telling me this yesterday is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Mahomes now on 1st down. That one complete to Hill. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs 1st down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Mahomes firing complete, and he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown.
Complete to number 10.
Tyreek Hill there to make the grab. And the Chiefs take it right down and score on the opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the 1st quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressures towards the quarterback.
And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown.
What is the deal? What is this?
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Dolphins now taking the field, led by the 5th overall pick back in April out of Alabama. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa.
And absolutely love this young man coming out of the University of Alabama because of what he did for the Crimson Tide. His last year there, 33 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions before the hip injury suffered in the middle of November. They want him healthy, obviously, because if so, one of the most accurate throwers coming out of college football in the last 10 to 15 years. And the Dolphins, they haven't taken a quarterback in the top 5 since a guy named Bob Greasy, now a Pro Football Hall of Famer. They took him back in 1967.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing now is Tagovailoa, and that's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And it's caught by Parker. And he is going to have the Dolphins 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Chiefs 7, Dolphins nothing.
They'll run now with Gaskin, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Another nice play there by Chris Jones, a Pro Bowler for the first time in 2020, a 5-year man out of Mississippi State. I would dare say plenty more Pro Bowls for him coming up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Tua. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
On is the punter Hawk as he gets this one away.
And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5 on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end, Kelsey. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
A gain of 13 yards. First down, Chiefs.
Let's go. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Shaq Lawson. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. first and 10. Here's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. It's Robinson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Kelsey, but it'll be second and goal.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
On second and goal, Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on third and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
Here's Mahomes, third and goal. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes finding Tyreek Hill. The Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
There's not much as perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Butker on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it first and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So after the incompletion, second and 10 from the 22. Looking to pass. Tua. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and it's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big third down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up third and 10. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
Right now, let's run, baby.
So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We were treated to an excellent first half from the gunslinger, Patrick Mahomes. His guys have a 2-touchdown lead as we hand it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Fielded in the end zone. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Strip that ball. Strip that ball. 53's the mark. 53.
Here's Tua. Brought in over the middle by Grant. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Gaskin. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Another run with Gaskin. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 11 yards there, first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Not much there, only a yard.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Now thrown to Parker, complete on the slant. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. This is Gaskin on the carry. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Tua going to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
By Chris Jones.
So that time, Charles, a quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Top. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
To Sammy Watkins. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 24-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
On 2nd down by the QB.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their book. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
On 1st down, Mahomes.
He'll find Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now in Miami. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Now Mahomes. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins ready to take over on offense.
And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strike right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll run it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Tua wants to throw it on 2nd down. Now a leaping catch, he's got it. And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. This will be caught at about the 5. And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points. This has not been a fun sequence for him at all. 1st and goal, no gain. 2nd and goal, he ends up losing yardage. He may be trying to talk him into getting the ball a 3rd time, but I think it's going to be difficult for him to win that battle.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal.
53 to Mike. 53.
Tua on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this shutout is going to continue as the defense holds again. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score them, garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say, probably going to go back to him. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side, and, when we talk about analytics, game, what is this one? Advanced win metrics, because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance of winning it?
I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. And whistles, and we're going to have another stage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Now carry for Edwards-Helaire.
Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st. Out of the shotgun. It's Bell.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
He's brought down at the 37-yard
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's keep moving. 51 the mic, boys. 51.
Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was, well, you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3. They got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
Did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.